Welcome to Monday, September the 30th, Henderson and Bailey's Homework Help. Well, on number 2, we have which of the following numbers is less than negative 1 and 57 thousandths. The best way to do this is they all have to be the same. On A, it just says negative 1. On B, negative 1 and 4 hundredths. On C, negative 1 and 60 hundredths. On D, negative 1 and 53 thousandths. In order to compare, yes, we don't have a common denominator, but we need the same number of decimal places. So you need to add your decimal, and the problem went to tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So we need to add 3 zero places, so it also goes to our thousandths. Okay, B is at our tenths, hundredths, but we need another one, so it's at our thousandths. And then C also needs another place. So we're going to take it from our hundredths to being in thousandths by adding our 0. And D is already in a thousandths. The best way to do this is you need to let your eyes focus your brain so it can tell you where we are. Even though it doesn't ask it, let's put 0 in here so we can just focus our direction. Above 0 is our positives. Positive 1, positive 2. But at least putting that, we can focus on what direction we need to go. So below 0, our first spot is going to be our negative 1. Now I'm not going to write this down below it, but leave some room. Then we have our negative 2. If you totally forget about the negatives and you're just looking at the numbers, you're going from 1 to 2. From 1 to 2, that's normally in our brains a small number. So we're going from a small to a big. Just forget about the negatives for right now. This is the way our brain needs to go. So basically, I want to take all of these answer choices and I want to put them in order from small to big with not considering the negative, okay? Because negative makes everything the opposite. So the first number I have there is 1,000. So I have my negative 1 and 0 thousandths. So mark that off. I've done A. Then you have, let's see, we have 600, 53, and we have 40. So 40 would come next. So we have our negative 1.040 or 40 thousandths. We've done that one. So next we have 53 and we have 600. Well, of course 53 is going to come next, and we can't forget about a problem up there. So we have our negative 1.053 or 53 thousandths. Now we have one left that has 600, but we cannot forget, let me highlight this so you can't forget, we still are trying to put this where it goes. So that's going to go first, actually, because it's 57. So we have our negative 1.057, 57 thousandths. And then we go back to our last one, which would be negative 1.600. Now, if we're looking at just, let me highlight this for you guys, looking at just the last numbers, 0, 40, 53, 57, 600. It's just like normal. But yes, these are all negatives, and negative means the opposite. So the bigger the number is, it really means it's the smallest because it's the furthest one away from 0. And it wanted to know which one is less than. There is only one that is less than our answer or our problem. Here it is right here. So that would be choice C. -1 and 60 hundredths. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to question number 4. Mikey spends between 65 and 112 filling up gas each week. What is a reasonable total Mikey might spend in a 5-week period? Well, here, guys, there's a keyword we need to focus on, and that keyword is between. Because we have a between, it's not just a one-step problem. We're going to have a low, and our low was 65. And we're also going to have a high. So our low was 65, and our high was 112. So what we want to do on this question is we want to figure out the lowest amount that he would spend and the highest amount he would spend, and we're looking for any answer that is in between. Now, my guys set up their story bars, and this is about him going to the grocery store over 5 weeks. So, I mean, not grocery store, gas. So here we have this bar about how much he spends on gas. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. So we have an answer anywhere between 300 all the way between 550. Yes, 315 does fit in there, but it's not the absolute best. One thing we do know is that 675 is way too big. We want to get rid of 675. Also, just like 315 is a little, 315 barely fits in there. Also, 562 just barely misses it, okay? So that's another barely. But the best one that fits exactly in between would be the 405. So that's our best answer for this question. Thank you. I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you back again tomorrow night.